you brought up that scene with David Chase on your podcast. You thought the best acting that you did was outside the police station.
Well, I thought the only good scene I ever did in Sopranos. That's what I said. I don't want to be like the best acting I ever did. I only liked once after doing all the scenes in Sopranos. There was only one where after we did it, I felt good, and I was like, I think that was good, and it was the scene outside of the police station.
It was a phenomenal scene, and after I watched that interview again, I went back and watched the scene again, and it was so good. And you watch it because, as I mentioned, with having kids and looking at these moments, and how you had said that at the end there where he just kind of, it wasn't supposed to go that particular way, and now Jim just kind of went on his instincts, and I think that's also because he's dad, and he was able to, like, that scene, like what was it about that in general to where, I guess that's probably the comfortability of being with Jim also.
Yeah, but there were so many scenes with Jim, and there was just something about that scene where, like, you know, it was nighttime, it was just, and there was something also about, you know, sometimes when you do a scene, you feel like the camera's in your face, and it'll be a lot, you're conscious of like, okay, don't look into the camera and don't see that. And I don't know if it was because it was night and I don't know what, it felt like it was just me and Jim there, and we were doing this thing, and it was just, yeah, I don't know. I have no idea what it was about that scene, but there was some reason. I remember like calling my manager after doing that scene and being like, I think I just like acted for the first time. Like, I think that was, I was like, I think that was good, you know, and I was really happy with that and proud. And I'm so grateful that it was with Jim, and, you know, it was great. Yeah.
I think it was a great scene, but I also think you're tough on yourself because I think you had a lot of phenomenal scenes. And I think that another one that is tough to watch, but it is the pool scene, man.
Yeah.
That, when AJ tries to kill himself, like, and I'm sure you've been asked this a million times over, and I apologize to asking, but I got you in studio. I got to know.
Yeah.
You think that, like, was he really trying to do it, or is he just calling out for help?
I haven't been asked that a lot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Did he want to just be seen? Did he want to be, you know? I don't know. It's tough.
How did you play it? When you played it, did you think that you were like he was going for it?
Yeah. I did it like like he's gonna kill. You know, because there are maybe ways that it wouldn't. Because and a lot, again, it's like when we did that scene in the parking lot of the police station. It's like it's just me and Jim in a parking lot. There's no way to kind of set the how do you feel in this. And when we did the suicide scene, I remember like the director was playing this like sad music on set, and I remember like it's December in Jersey, and it's whatever it was, 20 degrees, and you're about to jump into this pool for the 20th time, and you put a brick on your foot, and you put a bag on your head, and you tie it around this. So it's like, it's way easier to get into that, you know, because it's like, this is fucking crazy. Like this is bizarre. And then you would jump in, and then you'd have to you lay on the cement and it's freezing, and then they have to dry you, and you're doing it again 15 minutes later as soon as you're dry. So that was fucking brutal. And you're like, so when it's like, man, you look so sad there, I'm like, yeah, it sucked, you know? Like,
right.
it was a whack situation where, like, you know, something like it's just two people standing in the parking lot, and it's like, now you gotta cry and this and that. It's way, you know.
Well, I hear what you're saying, but I also think even though you're putting in that situation, it takes it takes the right person to be able to pull even the emotions, set you in the mood 100%. But you got to be able to really get there, and that scene, man, is like it's so powerful. Even when the pain in Jim's voice is, "What's wrong with you?" But then he calls you baby, and he's hugging you, and it's like, and because of the power that he's bringing in there too, I can only imagine that to you break down, and it's like this whole thing, and it's like, so I think that scene alone was phenomenal. Was phenomenal acting.
Thanks. Yeah, and I also think it's like, you know, these characters so well by that point. I mean, that we'd been doing it for 9 years or something like that. But by that point, and like, you know how much people love these characters, and you know the relationship between AJ and Tony, and that when you're doing it, you feel the sadness.
Right.
You know, you can feel the sadness for AJ, you feel the sadness for Tony, you feel the sadness for all of them, you feel the sadness for now Tony has to go tell everybody my son just tried to kill himself. This whole thing, like, it's you feel it. You know, you feel. You know, like, part of me is like, yeah, I have to act in the scene, and another part I do realize, like, man, AJ just tried to kill himself.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, it's great for people. By the way, if you haven't seen The Sopranos,
they're probably gone by now.
But if you haven't, you should really check it out. Or if you haven't rewatched it, go back and rewatch it.